are here today and have a special guest, Peter, who's the Chief Revenue Officer of TaxDome. And we're really excited for today because Peter is going to share a little bit about what's going on with TaxDome, what are some new things in the pipeline to really look forward to and really get that kind of behind the curtains peek. And also it's an opportunity for everyone to ask their questions. So before I let Peter introduce himself, I just want to say that Katie and I have worked in the accounting industry for a long time. We worked with a lot of software companies, and one of the reasons that we really specialize in TaxDome specifically is we truly feel like it's one of the software companies that is the most comprehensive for this industry. And one of the things that we love is TaxDome's commitment to continue to listen to their users and to implement new features all the time. So we have a special section in our membership dedicated to just talking about those feature updates that happen every month that are rolled out every month. So we're really excited today to have Peter talk about some of those upcoming things. So Peter, I'll let you introduce yourself real quick, and then we'll let Katie talk a little bit about the format of today.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Ashley, for introduction. So my name is Peter. I'm the CRO at TaxDome. It's, I think, my fourth or fifth year at the company. Time flies. I'm originally from Austria, so excuse me my German accent. But the years since I'm now in the US and working for the US market, it's very exciting. It's a very huge culture difference, which I actually appreciate because my own personal goal is always to grow as an individual, and this move helped me a lot to grow outside of the usual European way of thinking. Yeah, no, I appreciate you. We as a company, we appreciate you as a partner. I think it has been going very well. As you mentioned already, we love listening to our customers and we love developing new features and to communicate and implement those new features which are coming. We rely on great partners like Ashley and Katie who prepare and offer this kind of recaps and use cases and best practices, which helps you then better to utilize and activate TaxDome inside your business.
Awesome. Well, like Ashley said, super happy to have you here, Peter. So we have a couple of our members that have joined us here live. And then like Ashley mentioned, we also have some people streaming in and watching from YouTube, and we'll also be sharing this to YouTube later so we can share this and get some really good questions answered. We did collect a couple of questions that we wanted to ask you today, Peter. And if you guys here on Zoom, if you guys have any questions that you want to throw in there, let us know as well. And then we also do have a free resource. So for everyone who is joining us live, we'll be making sure that we share that as well. So with that, so Peter, I know we had a chance to chat a few weeks ago. We would love if you could just maybe spend a couple minutes telling us about kind of where you guys are at, what's coming in the future, what are the big projects, big exciting things that you guys are working on right now?
Of course. Thank you. So in general, about TaxDome, you need to understand that our pure focus is our customers. So we have a feature request board, and our customers, they can post all the features they want to have on this board, and then others can see them, they can upvote them, and our product team is non-stop. We have a product team of our product management team is, I think, already above 15 people, and in total we're reaching 400 people at TaxDome. So and everyone at TaxDome is focused on customer experience and reading the customer feedback. So we are all in this feature request board where we see what is a trend, what is asked for, what is requested. And this is something we will always follow. So just to set the baseline, this is something we will always follow. We have done this, and we also have committed to, we have taken significant resources to invest now again in our R&D. Our research and development team is 60% of our cost, so a usual SaaS company, they spend around between 20 and 40%, maximum 40, 35% of their cost into R&D. At TaxDome, it's 60%, 60 or 70%. So just to show you guys how much we really focus on product development. So what is happening in TaxDome regarding features is we're focusing on two main things. One is the firm operations, and the other one is the client experience. Because how we see it is that every practice management tool, any firm operation tool right now, they offer all those basic features, workflow, how to communicate, to collaborate within. And we think we will not disrupt too much in this direction, but I will come back to this point. And what we identified is that accounting, tax, and bookkeeping firms in the industry, they have a quite let's call it an image where the clients think they're outdated, they're old. And that's why we really focus on client experience. So what does this mean? It means that every interaction you as a firm have with your client is excellent with TaxDome. So which means, client portal, client mobile app, communication, notifications, automations. So everything you feel like I have nothing to do, and I'm working with the best modern accounting firm in the world. I personally always say I want to put the industry on the same level like a Formula One driver. It's like everyone should think, you're an accountant? Wow. Oh man, I wanna make a picture with you. So this is like my vision at TaxDome to establish this kind of image. And I mean, I mentioned already the client mobile app. So this is something we released. We got awarded for the top 100 finance apps in the app store, and we're releasing the new firm mobile app. So right now our firm mobile app is very limited, or let's call it limited. And with the new firm mobile app, you will do much more things. For example, you can review workflows, you can collaborate within your team, so everything on the go. So this is something we really want to increase again, also the experience. Why? Because it will increase also the response rate, not only from your client with the client mobile app, but also from the firm with the firm mobile app, because you're on the go and you can immediately chat within your team and with your clients. So for example, if you're on a doctor's appointment or you're picking up your kids from school and your team has questions, well, you don't have to wait till you go on the computer. You can resolve issues or continue your growth much faster on the go. So this is something it is coming. In general, over the platform, we have plans to improve our current features, but also to add new features. So maybe you read the news yesterday on Accounting Today and CPA Practice Advisor. We are releasing TaxDome AI. So you saw many tools already talking about AI features, the usual make me a summary or create me a birthday email template. We at TaxDome, we believe that AI has one purpose, and the purpose is to make your life easier by replacing a specific process, by replacing a specific workflow. And what we did then with TaxDome AI is that we introduced AI into a workflow which every firm has right now multiple steps to do, which means specifically when a client now uploads a document, our AI tool will read the document and will name it correctly and tag it correctly. And this is just the beginning. So we really want with TaxDome AI to implement this into the whole workflow. So for example, Katie uploads as a client a document, and immediately the AI will know what is the document, what is it about, and create the job inside the workflow already with the pricing and everything when you have set this up. So this is something in the future what we are planning to do. And the first step is to really remove those steps of, hey, I need to rename the whole document because it's called PDF KD 02062024, for example, and there will be a name of the document, and then also the specific tag for it, so you can much easier sort it into your workflow. So this is something. Let me know if I'm talking too much, and if you want to jump in with some follow-up questions.
No, I mean, the stage is yours. I think these are the things that people are really excited to hear about, some of the specifics. And so I know one of the things that we hear a lot is, TaxDome, is it just for tax preparers? So when you think and you're talking about some of those features that are coming out, what is TaxDome thinking about in terms of, feature updates or just enhancements related to, the area of bookkeeping, for example, or working for bookkeepers or other service providers that maybe you can share a little bit about too?
Absolutely. I mean, I need to be careful what I'm gonna share now, but we have big plans. So, like TaxDome itself, we know that the name limits already a lot bookkeeping firms and CAS firms, to even consider TaxDome as a tool or to demo TaxDome. We're thinking about right now for repositioning, but I can tell you that we are actively right now working researching and developing features for the bookkeeping firms, recurring tasks, uncategorized transactions, all those things you're using right now, different tools, you will see them in TaxDome. This is a big thing which we are working on, and we believe that TaxDome is and will be even more in the future for everyone in the whole industry. Tax, accounting, bookkeeping. We will get there. We're working very very excessive on it right now. And for those who have been with us for years, they know that every time we have broadened our feature set, the benefits, let's call them benefits, and they always see the improvements. And also with this one will be a huge improvement for the bookkeeping industry. It's going to be huge.
One thing, Peter, that I saw, I think it was in the last TaxDome update, the blog comes out each month sharing what are the new features released and what are some upcoming ones. So I saw this listed in the upcoming ones, and it talked about, I think of it for those that are familiar with, I think Keeper uses this concept, but they call it magic link. That's not what TaxDome called it, but kind of that concept of being able to control the authentication of the client. So if I just want to ask my client a couple of bookkeeping questions, and I don't want them to have to log into their portal and do all that, I just want them to click a link, respond to my questions, and be done. Make it really easy so there's less barriers for them to prevent response. It looks like something like that is coming in the future, at least listed on the blog. Does that sound right?
Great point. So what you have seen is that we announced that you will be able to sign without logging into the portal. This is just the first feature without signing in. Obviously, we have plans to make this client, to increase this client experience. Again, regarding client experience, we have plans to continue and implement this through the product, that you are able just to send out a message or email, hey, please do this, please fill out these questions, please fill out this organizer within the email, and everything is done.
That's great. So it's really about the signatures at this point
right
that
now,
will be released. Yeah.
But
okay.
Again, this is the first framework which we create, and then we have plans to really go through text on this. But I want to highlight again the client mobile app, because it's getting very, very popular. Millions of users. We have more than 3 million end clients using TaxDome, and the client mobile app is becoming very, very popular, especially with the notification. You're on the go, you see, okay, I need to sign something, I need to answer something, and it's getting very popular. But we know that not everyone wants to use the client mobile app, so that's why we are also considering the different personas of end clients, because we know, for example, let's say Rocky, he's here on this on the Zoom call, he comes to me and says, well, Peter, we have more older clients, mature clients, they don't want to use any client mobile app or client portal. Well, that's fair enough. Then it's very simple. Just send them the emails and they will do it through the email. So that's where we lower the barrier or fear of accounting firms when they say, well, not everyone is tech savvy. No problem. Do they know how to respond to email? Yeah, then you will also have a great success implementing or integrating them inside TaxDome.
Yeah, I can definitely see that's going to be huge, because I do think, and most of the people we work with, a lot of them, we talk about the difference between the tech savvy, the non-tech savvy, and how to accommodate all the different people. So I think that's definitely something that is needed in our industry. I'm curious, Peter, of all those things that are coming and the things that, Ashley had mentioned, what do you think, what are you the most excited about? What do you feel like the most transformative is, feature coming out that people are going to just be also super excited about, in the coming years, that we could share with them as well?
Well, I personally, I'm really looking forward for global communications. So what does this mean? It means right now, there is some limitations how you can communicate within your team, with your team within TaxDome, and it's also a little bit scattered. Like SMS is there, email is there, chat is there, and we want to first of all bring everything together under one section, which is going to be called, like we call it, global communications. You will have a tab of communications, and then it will drop down, and then we want to start. Imagine, you use Slack or Front or other two teams to communicate. You should be able to use TaxDome in the future. So you don't have to have any additional communication tool for your team internally. You will be able to do this within TaxDome. And I personally, I'm super excited because, I know how it is to communicate with a huge team remotely, for example, and to know that I can everything use, let's say, inside my operating system and tag them directly in specific clients, specific jobs, tasks, and all those things. And then they immediately know, oh, okay, that's what Peter is talking about. I think this is going to be just huge on productivity and firm experience.
Yeah, I mean, I love the more things that you guys bring inside TaxDome, the less the less tabs and tools and things that we have to have outside of it. So definitely makes it a lot easier for us as well.
There's another
Nope,
thing I'm looking forward, but I cannot share too much. But there will be a lot of improvements for our payments. So I know that a lot of our customers don't like our time and billing section. This hasn't been unheard. We have been very silent on this section because we're doing a huge remake right now. I cannot share too much because it's going to be a huge feature announcement, but be prepared that TaxDome is coming up with an excellent payment update.
That's great, Peter. Thank you for sharing those. I'm really excited about the communication one as well. I think that's something we hear. One of the most frequent questions from our community is, how do I keep track of all of the messages across all my clients without just going into each client? So that one's exciting. And I love the team concept as well, being able to communicate internally. So that we're very excited to see that roll out. Another question we had was, what's the best way, or I guess, how does TaxDome incorporate feedback into your development process, especially for some of these new features that are rolling out? And what's the best way to share the feedback? So I know you already mentioned if you log into your TaxDome account, you can go to the new feature or the features request
yeah.
at the top right there. So I know that's definitely a way. Is there anything else you'd recommend or you can share about that process?
Yes. So let me explain first how we tackle this. So to be innovative, leading global practice management system, like we are, we cannot always wait for our customers to come up with a feature or issue, because you need to understand that our customers or the firms which use TaxDome, it separates in two sections. One is the reactive section where they have issues with some features or they want to see improvement of a feature. And then the proactive section where firms come and say, hey, it would be nice if you would have this and this. And but the problem is those voices, those innovative proactive voices this group is much smaller than the reactive ones. So we look always into this proactive, feature ideas, let's call them ideas, and we match them how they are looking into our product roadmap, where we always think you need to understand that what you guys now see in TaxDome, we in our minds, we are already in 2026. We know already how TaxDome is going to look in 2026, and we know that a lot of technology concerns, they work like this, like Apple, for example, when they announce Apple iPhone 16, where they know already what the 18 is going to have. And this is how we do it also within TaxDome, which enables you to have a constant roadmap, innovative roadmap. So this is one part, how we implement features within TaxDome. So the reactive one is always the fast one. We always prioritize the customer satisfaction of TaxDome. And then, of course, we have these ideas which we include in our roadmap. Unfortunately, we know how it is. Let's say, Katie comes to us and says, hey, I want to have a custom client mobile app, and we have planned this for end of 2025, then, we will tell her, yeah, it's in plans. And then she doesn't know that it's going to come in 1.5 years. But we don't want to set expectations, because if something changes, we look bad. So we don't want to promise those kind of things. So that's why we follow actually a principle within TaxDome. It's called under promise, over deliver. So I rather tell you we're gonna make it in 2 years, and if it comes next month, you will be like, look at these guys, they say 2 years and they made it in 1 month already. So that's something we really follow internally. Also, how we collaborate inside TaxDome, the working culture is very under promise, over deliver always.
Thank you for sharing that. And I know for some of the ones that have already been said will be released. So proposals is one I know we've heard a little bit about, that's on the horizon for TaxDome. I have seen, for anyone watching here that is in the TaxDome community on Facebook, they have a community manager in there who's been really active. And I just saw a couple days ago, I think, he was posting a question to the group about proposals and kind of asking for feedback from people and wanting to hear from the community. So I know you've also offered people to join calls before to share feedback. So I love hearing all the different ways you kind of incorporate the community and also the forward thinking on that.
Absolutely. It's a great point. How could I forget our fantastic community? We have a Facebook community with I think now more than 4,000 firms there, like 4,000 firms. It's just fantastic. So I told Edwin, he's our community manager, which you see everywhere in our Facebook group. I said, I want to have the Reddit for the accounting industry. So you will see soon a change in our community. We're moving to our own platform, which will go away from TaxDome, and it will be open to everyone. So we really want to go away from solely TaxDome, because we have seen, and you guys are in the community, a lot of firms just asking industry questions when they need help with a case, with a job, with a project, with feedback on their pricing. And we just thought, why should we keep this for ourselves? Let's share this with everyone in the world who has maybe the same question. So that's why we have decided as a global leader to say, all right, let's open a community for everyone, and there will be then rooms, like about TaxDome, about pricing, about support, about industry knowledge, outsourcing, or whatever topics come up. So thank you very much for pointing this out. The community is a great way to voice your concerns, feature requests, ideas, and also customer support requests.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm in there every day, either looking to find an answer or just looking to see what people are talking about too. So I know we found that to be a huge resource as well. And I know you talked a lot about the different features, but one of the things that I'm pretty sure I've seen this a handful of times in the community, and we've heard about it a lot, are the integrations. So Zapier is a huge one that we hear about. So I'm curious if there's anything on the horizon, at least that you can talk about now, when it comes to either improving the current integrations or adding additional ones, or what's on the horizon in that space.
Absolutely. So regarding Zapier, we know that it's a big topic, and as of now, you can only update the contact. I think I posted already, I commented on a Facebook post. We are working right now on accounts, so you will be able to trigger accounts within TaxDome through Zapier, then tags, and this is just the beginning. So it will be spoon by spoon, step by step, more and more triggers through Zapier within TaxDome. The first one is coming now with the accounts. So just be patient. You can share I created a Facebook post in the community where you can share your use case, the action, and the trigger you want to have through Zapier and TaxDome. Just post it there. As more you guys post, as more we know which one to prioritize. But obviously the goal is to, we know that we will never cover all the tools you use at TaxDome, which are maybe connected to your workflow. So that's why, our end goal is with Zapier that you can really trigger auto moves through the workflow. So let's say, for example, Katie does let's say, for example, tax return in the accounting software, and then it moves directly within TaxDome.
Yeah, I think that'll be huge. It's just, the need for flexibility. It's like the more situations that we hear about, the more use cases we hear about. I think you guys are so good at building things to help meet those different use cases. So I think that's great. That's exciting to hear about with Zapier too, because I think that is a tool that people are using more and more, and we're hearing about. And so I think building in those additional options to be able to fit that in and help just connect all the different tools, I think that'll be huge too.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So just one more thing about the Zapier integration. So, we are your operating system, for your firm. And even if we say, we are all in one and you can do everything within TaxDome, we understand, as you mentioned, the need of flexibility. So please don't fear or put yourself in the situation that, we will limit you to do everything within TaxDome and that's it. No, our mindset is definitely something where we think, hey, you do all the mission critical essential things, within TaxDome, but all those other things you want to have communicated within TaxDome, and obviously this is our long-term plan. Either we build it ourselves or we make integration to it.
That's great. So one more question we received was, with all the feature updates that TaxDome does, what's kind of your philosophy around the balance between wanting to release everything and get it out there for the users, but also not causing too much disruption during the busy periods, which, depending on your exact industry and accounting, can take up a lot of the year. But what's kind of the philosophy on that?
Yeah. So first of all, many firms, because we started out in the US, many firms forget that we are a global company. We are, Brazil, whole Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and Japan. So there is no perfect timing anymore when to release a feature. But what we have committed to is to not release changes in your workflow, in your process during tax season. So this is something we have committed to and agreed on internally, and even if the tax season, we will be releasing features, but they will help you to do your work instead of readapting, learning what has now changed, or especially when something breaks inside your workflow. That's something we will definitely avoid, and it was never our intention to do so. But again, remember, we're a global company, and we are releasing every 2 weeks new features non-stop. There is no company who does this, and if you want to be innovative and a global leader in the market, then you need to continue doing those kind of things.
Yeah, that's a great point, Peter, and a good reminder that the deadlines look different for everyone. So
when you go to the community, you see also they posted in English, but those firms are in Europe, somewhere in Germany or in France, so even if we try to keep the language in English in the community, but for all the firms who are in the community, please also consider that they may not next to you in New York or somewhere in the US. Yeah.
That reminds me too. I know you guys have gone to a lot of different conferences and countries and all the things this year. I'm pretty sure this has been asked before, but I'll ask it again. Do you guys have any plans for having your own, TaxDome power user conference, anything along those lines in the near future?
So yeah, first of all, we started the campaign TaxDome Tour 2024. I see the T-shirt here in the video. Thank you for wearing it. So we are right now on a TaxDome Tour 2024, where in the back of the T-shirt you see all the locations where we are, from Europe, US, Canada, Japan. I'm flying to Tokyo in October. Why we are doing this? It's not just to understand why we're doing it. It's not because we want to have more leads or more prospects knowing about TaxDome. We do this mainly for our customers. We have now a lot of customers, over 10,000. We're growing 2x every year. We're growing very, very fast. And for us, it is very important, because we're a private company. We don't have any venture capital at TaxDome. I think many firms don't even know about that we're a private company, and it's owned by two brothers, which is Victor and Iliev, and we run the company internally as very family, like a huge family, which is like already now 400 people, as I mentioned. And we live this also for our customers. So when we do this world tour right now, is at every event, and Rocky was part of one of the dinners. At every event, we do a customer dinner where we invite all our customers, and we just have good food and good drinks there. So this is something, we just want to show that we appreciate our customers, and we want to be close to them, because on the other side, this is how our product develops further, right? Then to your point, what was the follow-up question?
Just if you guys plan on hosting your own.
So about the user conference, yes, definitely our plans. So we are definitely planning to do our own conference. We have such fantastic customers. We all want them to be in one place and make a big party. This is something we want to do to provide value and benefits for our customers within one big conference. When is this going to happen? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen next year. We are definitely working on it right now. I don't know if it's going to happen next year, but most probably 2026. Yeah. We are actually doing more for activation education at TaxDome. So something which is gonna come very soon is a education conference, an online conference, where thousands of people can attend, and then you will have different rooms with different professionals and hosts where you can see best practices, one-on-one courses, crash courses, but it will be just for each individual firm on the whatever stage they are within TaxDome, they will find a room, a space where they can improve themselves. Even if it's, you're looking for how to price better, and you will see me maybe talking about value pricing. How do I, price to my clients, for example. So this is something we are planning to do very soon. We're just, finding right now the right speakers and tool how to host this. But this is something definitely we want to do.
And that you said was a virtual online education conference.
Yeah.
I love that. So I feel like that's definitely one thing I also noticed in the community. People love to learn from each other too, especially when it comes to the best practices and use cases. I love when I hear about the creative uses of TaxDome too. And so I think the more people are discussing it, the more opportunities that we all have to learn of, here's another way that I can use it, or here's another way you can use it. So I think that's cool.
Absolutely. We wanted to do some a roadshow this year. Then we decided to do the world tour. We may do the roadshow next year, and then as a follow-up, the big conference.
Right.
But this is something also we want to go to specific cities and specific states, show up with a truck or rent the Marriott conference center in every city, and then you can come by and meet with us. We will have like little keynotes, something. This is what we're planning to do regarding also direction conference, user
Right.
conference.
That's
Very
great.
cool. Well, if you make it to Southern California, Katie and I will be there for sure.
Absolutely. We will be there this year in San Diego at the IRS Tax Forum. So I hope you come by. I won't be there. I'm at another conference, but part of the team will be there.
Very cool. One question that we got was, with all the changes that TaxDome continues to roll out, are there any planned changes to the pricing structure or new pricing tiers, or at least that you're able to share?
Very good question. So we have no intentions to increase the price, but as our plan as it is right now, I need to step. It's a very good question. I'm going to answer this as detailed as possible. So right now we have one plan, right? And this one plan goes to everyone. For everyone comes to this plan. And the problem with if you have one plan is that smaller firms, they think, oh, look, TaxDome, maybe this is just for bigger firms. And bigger firms come and say, oh, maybe this is just for smaller firms. So you cannot interpret yourself inside the plan which we have right now very well if you don't know the product and the feedbacks of our customers and so on. So that's why we will be introducing several plans, but the price for Pro will be the same. So I don't promise you guys that we will not have price increases. Everyone is increasing prices. We are raising salaries every year. The vendors we use increase their prices. So we will also raise prices very, very directly. It's not plans in the nearest future. That's what I can tell you this year. We will not increase the TaxDome Pro plan.
Okay. Thank you for sharing about that. Another question.
Just to add, it's a very sensitive topic, but those customers who know us, we are always very transparent with our communication, and that's why I can tell you that there won't be a price increase, but we will be announcing different plans with a separation of our services.
So another question that we had gotten was around task management. So obviously we know, there's the ability to add tasks into your recurring pipelines. There's the recurring tasks. And I think those are great, but I feel like there's probably some other areas, other tools out there that people are still using and they would love to get rid of and, go full in on TaxDome, especially when it comes to project management, task management, things like that. So I'm curious if there's anything that you guys are looking at specific to, enhancements in that area that you can share, or, how are things looking in that space?
Definitely. So we're also working on this. We're working a lot on our task management. This will be part of our bookkeeping feature set. I don't know what to share more, but there will be much more flexibility in our workflow and task management in the future. Yeah. There will be client requests, and then how you manage those requests within the workflow, and this will be much more flexible and customizable.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I think that is another space. Ashley and I had worked previously with a lot of different project management tools, and so I think we're personally very excited to see, some of the enhancements in this area and how we can just keep using them more too. So that's good to hear about.
Yep. It's like you guys are replacing every complementary software out there. People can really consolidate.
Well, that's our vision. Right now, if you look into the market, there are two different approaches. One approach is, let me focus on one single thing and integrate with all the other tools. And then the other approach is, you have one single entry and do all those other things. With TaxDome, we strongly believe that you want to provide a perfect client experience and perfect firm experience or customer or team member experience, where they log into one tool and can do all those things, because you don't want your client to log into 7 different tools and then what happened there, need to log out, next tab, this and this. So this is something we truly believe, and we also see it already not only in the accounting industry, but everywhere else. It's going into this direction. So that's why we strongly believe that this is the future. We may be totally wrong. We made it totally wrong, and then we put everything on one card. Obviously, we have a plan B always. But this is something we believe and focus on. And our vision is to create a practice management tool which you and your clients love and enjoy using.
Right. What I love about it too is that even though TaxDome incorporates all these different functionalities, and I know many people we work with have been able to replace a lot of the software they were patching together. One, it's always easier when it's in one, because you're not trying to patch and make systems talk that don't naturally talk. And two, you guys are committed to doing it well. So it's not just, oh, you can kind of do a little bit of everything. And when you roll stuff out, you're like, hey, here it is. And we're going to keep even improving that, making it even better for you. So we love to see that.
And it's not easy, because to respect to other tools out in the market, they need to invest their dev resources in updating the whole time those integrations, where we need to make the commitment to develop and update our own build features. So it's always, I'm not saying that one of software company has it easier than the others. It's just that you put your resources on different areas, and then it's up to the market to think which one is the most innovative one, the one who needs to update, or the other one who needs to continue develop.
Yeah, it's looking at the priorities and figuring out where those lie, I guess, for each company. I'm curious though on that too. What do you think that sets you guys apart from your competitors? I know we've talked a little bit about them. And then kind of along the same lines, what do you think some of the biggest challenges are for you guys just as you look forward to?
Okay, very good question. So regarding our competitors, so we are a private company. We're very flexible and fast-paced. We are very high performance culture, which makes it for us very simple to make fast decision and go to market. And B is our focus on client experience. There is no tool out there right now who can offer this high level client experience to keep you high retention on customers, to have high response rate, to high satisfaction rate. And this is something, we know that we're on the same level on firm operations, but we have a big advantage on the client experience. So this is something, this is how we differentiate ourselves from the competition out there.
And then just the second part of that, as far as challenges that are out there for you guys, do you see any, I mean, not roadblocks necessarily, but do you see any challenges that are kind of laid out in front of you? Things, obviously there's things that you guys are going to want to tackle, but I'm just curious from your perspective, if there's any challenges out there within the industry or market right now.
That's a very good question, because, this is something what keeps you awake, in the nights. What if? And to be super honest, it's only us who can damage ourselves, if we lose focus, if we, internally have we cannot get along, we cannot make fast decisions. I think this is what is gonna slow us down and give the competition the chance to keep up with us. Otherwise, the biggest challenge I'm gonna give a little bit more context. In SaaS and software, the biggest challenge is not it's the first challenge is to start and to grow your customer base, to reach the first 1 million in ARR, and to have, a 20 people team or 30 people team, and, your first 1,000 customers. So this is where most of the tools are right now. But to grow from 30 people, 40 people to 400, this is a huge undertaking, where you need to have experienced people to set up so many processes, but to still keep the execution performance and the performance level as high as on a 30 team member. This is like a huge challenge. And that's why, there are only 100 unicorns, in the world. Or in SaaS, maybe I think bootstrap SaaS unicorns, there are maybe 30 in the world, and we will be one of them. So to get there is just a huge undertaking, and a lot of people fail to get there in the software industry. There's a business word, it's called zombie. It's someone who doesn't die and who doesn't grow. And to get out of this, it's very difficult. So this was definitely a huge challenge for us, and we are very happy to get to be there. And now it's just up to us to go to the next stage, to just cover the whole market with TaxDome.
Thank you for sharing that. I love hearing about the journey, and I think even outside the software industry, companies that go from startup and then have big growth, that's where a lot of them falter. So
yeah. There's I think the ratio is 20-1, from firms for softwares who start to someone who makes it long term. And it's very nervous to step to as leaders, as our founders, Iliev and Victor, that they made this step early enough and confident enough to grow TaxDome to a 400 people company, because we've seen many firms fail, or many firms hesitating to do this step because the risk is very high to fail.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's and the problem is it destroys the reputation in the industry, because then you have a lot of firms coming, let's say in the accounting industry, a lot of firms are coming in, new product, new feature, new company. And then everyone says, "Oh, that's awesome!" And I feel the same. As you see already, I'm a super euphoric, enthusiastic person. And if I see those tools coming out in this company, like, "Oh, that's awesome," then I give them advice. We help them. It's like it's not that just text them. We sit and we're really out there helping everyone. And then as more sad it is when we see them just fail then afterwards because they didn't know how to grow it to this, in the specific stage. And then obviously then the market, the industry, or you firms, you feel like TaxDome is going to be the next one because you see so many come and go in a very short period of time, and then obviously you take this feeling and put it to TaxDome, and they say, "Oh, when are you guys gonna sell, or when are you guys gonna close?" Guys, we're not closing. We're never gonna sell. We have plans with TaxDome to stay as we are and to be forever a company in the industry. So TaxDome should and will be the operating system for all accounting firms in the world.
Yeah, that reminds me, Ash and I talk a lot about shiny object syndrome, where we've in the past been very guilty of, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. Let's try that. Or, oh, let's try that. And I feel like, a lot of people out there are probably similar to that. So it's good to hear these things because it's, the stability in your software choice, especially as, for accountants as they're growing their firms, is so important because your clients it's going to drive them crazy if you're jumping around. It's going to drive you crazy and your team. So I feel like really for firms to be successful, they need that longevity in the software that they choose. And so when people come to us and they're asking, is this the right software for us? Hearing that, what you just said is a great tool to use to show them the longevity is there, because you can't be jumping around. It's going to create all sorts of issues. And so I think that's one thing that does set you guys apart, for us at least, when we're talking about the software, is that ability to have that more long-term focus. And then as you're constantly adding things in, knowing it's not just what's here right now, it's also looking to what's going to be there in the future. And I think that's been pretty big for people too.
Exactly. I mean, and that's how we try to communicate this in an indirect way, where we announced our multi-year plans. There's no one in the industry right now offers multi-year plans as much as I'm aware. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but besides Wolters Kluwer and Thomson Reuters, but there's no industry, there's no product right now who has the confidence to say, "Hey, sign up with us 3 years, we got you."
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this says already everything about our stability and fundamental strength we have at TaxDome.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think
Absolutely.
the more we hear, the larger that community gets. I think it does give people that comfort of knowing this isn't going to be one of those companies that, is there and then they're not. So I think all those things together really give that security, especially for accountants. We like our stability and our security, and knowing that you guys are going to be there. So that all definitely comes together to help.
Absolutely.
So I think we might have time for one more quick question. And I think this question came up when we were talking about integrations and whatnot. But what about integration with other calendars? So having TaxDome directly integrate with Outlook or Google or other things like that. I don't know if there's anything you're able to share around that.
Great question. So as you may know or may not know, Google announced their own calendar feature with scheduler and everything. We're reviewing it right now, and we will make a decision on which ones to collaborate with. But we know that their schedule is just better right now, so we don't want to overcommit and then sit and then it breaks and then we have to do it again. So this is something we're looking into it right now and see how it evolves and develops. And once we see more stability and more like stabilization in this scheduler market, then we definitely will be consider to have more options. But again, right now it's not as stable as you think, and they're updating, removing features. I personally use right now the calendar schedule, the Google's scheduler, because of this reason. I want to see how stable they are to consider them for TaxDome.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Well, I know we're just about at the end of the hour, so I just wanted to thank you, Peter, for joining us. It was so great to have you speaking here to our community and those that are broadcasted on YouTube right now. And I feel like people were able to get a good insight into what's going on. And if I think we got to most of the questions, but if anyone sees this and has more questions, feel free to send them to us and we can always relay any answers back and make sure everything gets answered. But just wanted to thank you again for taking the time to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. The time I always take is for our customers and partners. So, feel free always to reach out. This is what my job is, right? I'm here to take care of everyone, and please always let me know if there's something additional you want to know.
Awesome.
Great.
Well, thank you, Peter. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye-bye.